All right. Very good evening, everyone. And let us begin. Very warm welcome. Uh, and I can see a lot of us are known to each other, a lot of our existing participants, uh, some new names as well. So, very good evening. My name is Rahul, and I'm the director of the organization, and I also lead the analytics vertical for the organization. As you all know, you're most of you are familiar with ProTouch. We are a training organization, and we run a lot of certification programs for working professionals. All our programs are accredited to international bodies like SHRM and HRCI. Apart from this, we are also knowledge partners for leading business schools in the country like XLRI and IIMs. Uh, Apart from that, we conduct a lot of corporate trainings and workshops. So that's a little bit about ProTouch. Now let's begin today's discussion. Today we have a very interesting topic uh, that we that we want to discuss with you, and this is something which is very close to my heart, and I think it's extremely important in today's world. And it is on. Let me just share my screen. It's on analytics for managers. So many of you, uh, would be in managerial positions, and many of you aspire to be in managerial positions soon. So it's an important topic for us to discuss uh, what we mean when we say analytics for managers. Yeah. Before we get into this topic, let us look at journey to a manager. Okay, and on this, I would uh, invite everyone for your thoughts and comments. What's the journey to become a manager? How someone becomes a manager? Any thoughts? How someone becomes a manager? It's a simple question. You want to become a manager. You have seen people become managers. So what's the journey to become a manager? And I would request everyone to keep their videos on, because if the videos are on, it gives a different energy to the session. Thanks, Anjali, for keeping your video on, and Deepa. I would encourage others to keep the videos on. It's a short session, 1 hour, including our fellow colleagues from ProTouch. Thank you. Thanks, Priti. All right. So what's the journey to a manager?
So to become a manager, we need to learn how to address difficult situations.
Good point. Good point, Priyanka. So someone need to
So
learn.
we have to focus on building.
Sorry.
So we have to focus on building trust.
Good point. We have to focus on building trust.
Yeah. So we also have to ask for feedback.
Good point. We also have to ask for feedback. So this is what you're talking about once someone becomes a manager, or once someone is in the journey to become a manager.
So
are you talking this as a qualities of a manager, or you're talking about this is a journey to become a manager?
So this is so this is about the journey, I guess.
Good point. Okay, so this, you think that to become a journey to a manager, someone need to build trust, take feedbacks?
Manager's journey is all about leadership skills.
So good point, Deepa. So I'll just twist my question a little bit. I'm not asking what's the journey of a manager. What's the journey to become a manager? Suppose if you're not a manager today, how will you become a manager?
Okay, to get the team along, and to
if you're not a manager, you don't have a team, to be honest. You're an individual contributor. So what makes you a manager?
Okay.
First, we need to work on the managerial skills.
Mhm. So you have seen people getting promoted and becoming team leaders, becoming managers. How they became? What was the basic ingredient?
The experience and knowledge.
Experience and knowledge.
Experience and knowledge. Alok is saying ability to multitask. Srilekha is saying gain experience. Problem solving capabilities, what Sagar is saying. You know, well, that's true. You know, and many of these, you know, ability to multitask, ability to solve problems, and these are requirements once you get into those roles. Yeah, how do people get into those roles?
The one who can understand how to manage things at a very early stage, then it can be classified into different kind of roles, that what you are managing, people, mindset, a business or a profile. But then you should be, as an individual, a person who can manage things in a way. And then I guess this is, a person should have this quality to become a manager. I am not sure, it's just my
No, no,
thought.
you are right. So all what you're saying is right. But generally, how people become managers?
By stepping through different roles, like
Attitude.
first.
The
So
leadership qualities,
shoulder
Ananda is saying leadership quality that all get tested once you become a manager.
Sir, ability to shoulder responsibilities.
But no one knows whether someone has the ability to shoulder responsibility. So let's keep it simple, friends. You know, and I'll come back to this question because this is very important to understand. You know, you're performing, you're working somewhere, you're performing. How will you become manager? You know, more often than not, people become managers by doing well in their current roles. Simple as that.
Manager, that hello.
Yeah, Shamina.
Okay. Actually, I'm in road. That's why I'm sorry for the outside sound. So if can you hear me?
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, maybe it was not for us. Okay. So Alok is saying the one who has ability to analyze data, drive business wisdom. Well, all that is true, but those gets tested when someone becomes a manager.
So be good at what they are doing right now and be profound to learn what is going to come next, or being good at that can allow the company to judge that this can be the person who can take this responsibility in future, or we can opt this person because he is very good at what he's doing right now.
Good
So
point.
being best in
Complete.
what they are doing right now can give them an opportunity to become a person who can do best in that post, maybe.
Good
This
point.
is
Very good, Sridhar. She is right. You know, just simply put, people become managers by doing their existing roles very well. You know, and shown the ability to learn, shown the intent, being a consistent performer, and the management feels that, you know, by their some assessment, that we can give higher responsibility. Let's try to give some higher responsibility and see how it works. You know, and that is how traditionally, more often than not, people take managerial positions, isn't it? You know, and many of you will also take managerial position or would have taken manager position in a similar way. Now, what happens is people become manager by doing their traditional roles. And once they get into managerial roles, they see the world is a little different. What makes a great manager? And now this is where all that you have said will come into play. You know, most of the things that you're saying, ability to multitask, ability to solve problems, you know, efficiently, effectively utilize people across all levels. Very good point that Vinod said. You know, need leadership qualities. Ananda said, ability to manage more responsibilities, ability to multitask. There are a lot of things that people talked about. Yeah. What makes a great manager? Now we know how to become a great manager, but once you become a manager, how do you become a great manager amongst all managers? Yeah, and most probably all the things that we just said. Yes, Deepa.
To get the team along to achieve the desired goal.
Good point. One of the biggest element is to get the team along. Yeah. What else? One is to get the team along. What else? Shrilekha is making a great point on the chat, which is manage both employee and higher management. One of the quality of a great manager is they're not only good at managing their teams, but they're also good at managing other stakeholders. It could be managing, it could be their colleagues, cross-functional teams. Great. One need to be a team player, is Vinita is saying exactly. So there are three essential elements to become a great manager. As you rightly said, ability to manage and motivate and engage their teams productively. Take business decisions that will improve the bottom line. That's what management cares about. Whether you are able to make decisions that can help business grow, and rally support from the stakeholders for their initiatives. Whatever initiatives they're taking, they have to rally support, let it be from their management, from their colleagues, from their cross-functional team leaders, things like that. And that really makes a great manager. And Vinod is also saying people feel the presence at everywhere that makes a great manager like backbone of the organization. Great. Ananda is also saying analyze person, what they need, foster responsibilities well. Yeah, great. So most of you are saying the right things. Absolutely, good job. Now, one of the critical element is that they need to solve problems. How do one solve problems, or how do one take decisions? How do one solve problems? How do we solve problems? And this we have discussed in our earlier webinars as well. How do we solve problems? What are the essential elements of solving a problem? And I can see a lot of videos going off again. If you can be on video, that would be great. I can see you. I can interact with you. Thank you.
So to know the what is problem is, I think this is the first step.
Very good. The first step is to understand the problem. Great.
So we need to be focused on
Yes, Priyanka, go ahead. We need to be focused on.
So I'm not able to. Hello?
No, you said that we need to be focused on. We can hear you. Okay, we'll come back to Priyanka.
Second is try to solve with the prior experience, whatever we have.
Try to solve. Good point. So experience is a great element to solve a problem. So we have to understand the problem. We need experience. But what else?
Case studies helps in solving the problem.
Case studies help in solving the problem. And we'll also talk about experience a little more in detail in today's session. What else? Ananda is smiling. You have a point to make. There's something else going around here. So, we solve problem by analyzing, understanding, defining, looking at various options, looking at various actions and data around us. What is the most difficult part of?
So to solve a problem, we need to prioritize in the right way.
Good point. We need to prioritize in the right way. Yeah. And what is the difficulty in prioritizing? And Shalini is also saying risk-taking ability. And this is a great point you are making. So I will talk about 2 points more in detail. One is experience and second is risk-taking ability. What is risk-taking ability, Shalini?
Whether the solution is the fruitful or not.
Mm-hmm.
And is it in a favor of both management and employee, the team member?
So you would have heard a lot of time, friends, that we say that this person is having great risk-taking capability. For whom we talk this? We say this person has a great risk-taking capability.
So who takes decisions, who initiative, who take initiative?
So who can
We talk about for the people who for whom the risk-taking capability has worked in their favor or against them.
So both, I would say.
Do we know someone who's taking risk and always the risk is, the decision is coming out to be negative? Do we say that this person having a great risk-taking capability?
No, sir. No, sir. When the outcomes are positive, then only we will say this.
Correct. More often than not, whenever we see the outcomes are positive, the person took risk, person took a decision, and it worked out in the favor, and we say the person has a great risk-taking capabilities, isn't it? And,
yes,
and these are generally successful people, right? If you talk to successful people for whom people say that they have great risk-taking capabilities, they say, actually, we don't have a great risk-taking capability. Actually, we are very fearful. But what makes their decision correct? More often than not, most of the decisions tend down to be on the positive side than on the negative side. Are they lucky?
Their vision.
So the analytics.
Their capability to make a right decision. You may say capable to make a right decision or prioritize or, look at options and see which one will work out for them the best. Isn't it? So now the question is how, and the biggest problem in any problem solving exercise is capability to make a decision. Why decision making is so difficult?
Yes, we are scared of the result.
Absolutely. We are scared of the results because in every decision making, there is a possibility that the decision may go
wrong.
Madhuri, stay muted. Thank you. So how do we take decisions? One of the elements that we discussed is our experience. Someone said we can make decisions with our experience. What are the other ways of making a decision?
Sir, I want to say something.
Yes, Madhuri.
Right now I had worked in many companies. I'm never satisfied with the company environment and the way the HR takes. So I think this also can be very much important part in HR. Whenever any employee is leaving from the organization, they don't investigate why the people is leaving and why there is down rate of the employees, why they are leaving this. I'm very much concerned about this part.
Okay, so how it is related to what we're discussing right now? Because the question is coming from, so I appreciate and I really agree with what you're saying, but I'm not able to link it to what we're discussing.
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. If you made a good point, but how you're linking it to our discussion right now?
सर ये तो है, बट मेन जो एचआर का काम होता है वो होता है कि एम्प्लॉइज को मैनेज करके रखना, बट मैं आजकल की कंपनी में देखती हूँ कुछ है ही नहीं ऐसा कुछ. क्या काम फिर एचआर?
How it is related to the discussion, right?
I know it is not related to your question, but still I was having this concern. That's why I do.
All right, so we will take your concern offline because there are other 50 people on the group, and so okay. Did you hear my question? माधुरी, आपने मेरा क्वेश्चन सुना था?
हाँ.
बताइए क्या क्वेश्चन था?
How do we take decisions?
Correct. How do we take decisions? बताइए, चलो उस पे शुरू करते हैं आपसे. How do we take decisions?
Decisions हम कैसे लेते हैं? Obviously पहले जो भी रिजल्ट है पहले हम उसको इवैल्यूएट करेंगे, एनालाइज करेंगे, उसी के बेसिस पे हम कोई भी डिसीजन लेंगे. ऐसे ही तो नहीं ले सकते.
करेक्ट. सो हम इवैल्यूएट करेंगे सारे ऑप्शंस और उसके बाद डिसीजन लेंगे. और क्या तरीका डिसीजन लेने का? What are the other ways of making a decision, friends?
We need to think about the goal we need to achieve.
अरे
We need to see what is our goal. What we need to achieve.
We need to see what's our goal. Yes.
Investigation
So
and
previous data at the rate of failure of the decision would
Good
also
point.
help.
Which is analytics. You know, we will figure out what is the possibility of failure
Yes, sir.
in this. Good. What else? You can also make decisions through your knowledge. You know, you may say that I have studied this, so I know about it, so I can make a decision. What are the other ways you can make a decision? You can talk to some experts. You know, you can talk to some experienced people. You can take expert opinion, saying, you know, this is the situation I am in. What do you think? I want to make a decision. These are the options in front of us. Things like that.
So
Okay.
current trends will also
Current
work.
trends. Good point. You know, current trends are again analytics. Okay, looking at data, looking at analytics. Yeah, and there is one other way we make decision. Human being is gifted with that.
Gut feeling, sir.
Gut feeling, absolutely. We make a lot of decisions through our intuition. Okay, so there are various ways through which we can make decisions.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, please.
So taking a decision through our gut feeling is a good way to take decisions.
Okay, so I think decision making is more important. It's so okay. So intuition, there is a great research that is happening. Okay, how many times it has happened that you come out and say, I just took the decision. I don't know how I took it. I just took the decision and it turned out to be true.
Many times.
Many times, correct? And most of the time they're correct. Why?
Okay, so we are taking risk.
No, it's not risk. See, because you have not evaluated anything. You just took it. See, what is intuition? Intuition is in crisis, especially your intuitive decisions are in crisis. Someone has thrown a stone at you, you immediately duck and, you save yourself. Or, I don't know how I climbed this wall, but I climbed it. I don't know. I just took a decision in that moment. Now, many a times, it is proven by research in crisis situation. People can take decisions on intuition and it turned out to be true because intuition also have a very deep-rooted analytics built into it basis your experience, and we'll talk. That's not we are going to cover today. We will take it up in one of the days. But yeah, sixth sense, intuition, gut, you can call it anything, but they're all same thing. But many a times, even intuitive decision can turn out to be true. But in a business environment, people tend to avoid intuitive decisions because intuitive decisions generally are true in more, crisis kind of a situation. If there is a fire, you all of a sudden decide to jump out of a window or do something, and those decisions turned out to be true. But more often than not, what people rely on. So there is no right or wrong way. But in business environment, analytics is considered to be the most preferred way of making a decision. Can someone answer this question? Why? What amongst all these reasons, you can research, you can have experience, you can talk to experts, you can have knowledge, you can discuss with others, intuition, or you can use analytics, which is you can look at past data, records, make some analysis, and then make a decision. Now, what differentiates analytics from all the other options?
Because analytics involves all the data available.
Yeah. So what is there in analytics that differentiates?
So it is universal. It is universal in nature.
Well, even knowledge is universal, experience is universal. Most of them are universal, but there is something that differentiates analytics from others. Sagar is saying it's backed by facts and figures. That's true. But what differentiates it from others? We discussed that every decision has an element of risk. And analytics is the only way to quantify that risk. If you're trying to make a decision, and if I tell you, if you take this decision, the chances that you will win is 90%. Will it help you make a decision? Versus a statement saying, if you take this decision, the chances are that you will win. Which statement will give you more confidence? Statement that has 90% in it or statement that has no number in it?
Statement with
90%.
90%.
Statement number, and that's exactly what Alok is putting in the chat box. Make calculated risk. What do you mean by calculated risk? You put a number to that risk. And as soon as you put a number to that risk, it helps you make a decision. Are you with me, friends? And that's the reason analytics is more popular for decision making, because it helps you quantify the risk, which we call it as calculated risk. You know, if I tell you that if you make this decision, the chances of a success is only 10%. Again, will it help you make a decision? If I say that if you take a particular decision, the chances that you will succeed is 10%. Will it help you make a decision?
Yes, sir. It
will.
no.
Good point. You know, it will help you make a decision because the decision could be not to go ahead with that option. Yeah. Are you with me, friends?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So at heart, what is the role of every manager or a leader? A role of every manager is to solve problems. And that exactly the role of analytics is, to solve problems, to help someone make a right decision in order to solve a particular problem. Yeah. Now let's understand what is analytics. Analytics is all about collecting data, processing data, and drawing insights from that data. What are the three elements? It's about collecting, processing, and drawing insights from a particular data. Now, before we get into a little more detail on this, and today I'm going to discuss more from a manager's point of view when you're managing things. Let us look at this particular chart because this is one question that a lot of people ask. And I'll also take questions around it. A lot of people, come and talk to me about saying, can I learn analytics? I am not good at numbers. Can I learn analytics? I am not from a technical background. Can I learn analytics? Will I have to learn coding? Do I need to be expert in Excel? Do I need to learn other programming languages? Answer to all those questions is very simple, which is no. Anyone can learn analytics. Anyone can learn analytics. There are only three essential things to be good at analytics. One, you need a domain knowledge. What do we mean by domain knowledge? If you want to do HR analytics, you need to understand HR processes. If you want to be good at marketing analytics, you need to understand marketing variables. If you need to be good at sales analytics, you need to understand sales. If you want to be good at financial analytics, you need to understand finance. If you want to be good at operational analytics, you need to understand operations. And I'm not saying you need to be expert in that area. You need to have knowledge of that area. A lot of you are HR professionals here. If you want to do HR analytics, you need to understand HR. Not necessarily that you need to be expert in HR. No, you need not have expertise. Even a fresher, who has done MBA in HR can learn HR analytics because that person understands HR. Second essential element of being effective in analytics is a step-by-step approach. A step-by-step approach to solve any problem. It's a very systematic way of solving problems, and you need to get trained on that. And knowledge of analytical tools. You need to understand the analytical tools well. And it's very easy to learn analytical tools. And once you understand analytical tools, you can perform analytical exercises and make decision which is more based on analytics. Let me just pause here and see if you have any questions thus far, what we have discussed, before we move ahead.
The knowledge of analytical tools, that also includes technical knowledge about particular thing in analytics.
Good question. So elaborate more on your doubt. It's a good question that you're putting up.
I mean to say that, like, if we are going into analytics, so that
Mhm.
requires more of numbers and deep knowledge about, and because various tools are involved in analytics, so that requires a technical skills or something which require expertise in particular thing, so that we can go ahead further.
Okay. So you're asking a great question. So the simple answer to your question is no. Now, analytics has to be looked at from two lenses. Okay. Do you want to use analytics? So analytics as a skill and analytics as a career. Okay. And a lot of people get confused on this stage. If you want to use analytics as a skill, what do I mean by that? You want to use analytics to make better decisions in whatever you're doing. You could be doing a role of HR manager, you could be doing a role of finance manager, you could be doing a role of operations manager, you could be doing a role of sales manager, or even an executive or a leader. Any role that you're doing, you will have to make decisions. And if you want to improve that decision-making capability using analytics, you don't want programming languages, you don't want to be very strong on numbers. Yeah, you need to understand a little bit of numbers. You don't have to be strong on numbers. You don't need to be coming from a technical background. You can learn it in 3 months and you will be good at it. Yeah, you can learn analytical capabilities and you can good at it. And this will also differentiate you from other professionals. This will also differentiate you, if you're going for the interview, if you're going performing a job, because you're making a more analytics-based decisions, data-based decisions, your decisions will more tend out to be better and more mature. So that's one clear differentiation, and this is where you're using analytics as a skill. Now coming to analytics as a career. Now, if you want to make a career in analytics and data science, in that situation, yes, you need to be from a technical background. You need to be good at numbers. You need to be good at statistics. And you also need to learn few more languages. Because now you are looking at making a career in analytics. If you want to make a career in analytics, yes, you need all that. But if you want to use analytics as a skill for better decision making, you can learn it, and it's very easy to learn, and you can be great at it. Okay? Now, let me give you certain scenarios. Now, suppose you are a manager, okay, or in an organization. You will see two kinds of people in management. You like it or you don't like it. There are people who are very logical in their thinking. They are very structured. They understand numbers. They are very analytical in their approach. And then there are other kind of individuals who are very intuitive, who work more on, for whom rationale is not very important, but your confidence, your attitude, and your approach is more important. Okay. Now, as you will keep going up, you will see the people who are more analytical, more logical, more rational. You will see more of them. And they have a need to understand the logic behind your decision, need to understand the rationale, why you are making those decisions. And if you have to convince those people, you need to bring out those analytical capabilities in you. It is not that if you don't have, you will not grow, you will. But if you have it, your growth gets accelerated as a manager. Your decisions are better. You are able to convince people more effectively. Now, problem that happens in a corporate world, and this I'm talking from my 23 years of experience working with various organizations. The problem that happens, if you are an HR manager in an organization, you feel that I can grow basis my HR expertise and my HR experience. And someone also said experience earlier. And this is a good time to bring that discussion in. The world is changing so fast. It is changing so fast that only relying on your experience can be counterproductive. It can go against you. Because sometimes experience becomes a liability. Experience will become a roadblock sometimes to make better decisions, because you will feel, let's take an example. And I'm giving you my real examples from my own organization. There was a time when we were, and this was before pandemic, not after pandemic, before pandemic, when we were deciding to start online classes, and many of you are enrolled for those, where live sessions happen. And there was a discussion internally in the organization, and there was a very strong feeling from many of the team members saying that online sessions will never work. Our participants will never enroll for an online session. They will always need a classroom session. And hence, online sessions will never work out. Okay, we said, let's try. And this is where I'm saying sometimes were they wrong? They're not. They were coming from their experiences. But many a time, you will find that your experience is the biggest roadblock for making a decision. Because it has not happened in past is not a guarantee that it cannot happen in future. Are you with me, friends? So yes, experience is important, but don't trust your experience blindly. You should be able to look at things from the fresh lens. And that's the reason, if you will see many great organizations, if you're high on experience, they may not select you, because they've realized that experience can become a liability, especially when the world is changing so fast. Are you with me, friends? And does it answer your question, Deepa?
Yes, sir.
So it is a negative thing to have great experience in the domain.
No, it is not a negative thing. Experience is a very important thing, but it should not be trusted blindly for your growth. I'm not saying having experience is bad. Having experience is good, but don't take your experience for granted. You should be open, because you should use your experience. Your experience should not use you. And don't get fixated. Yes, you have experience. It's very important, but don't get blinded by your experience, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and last 2 years has actually taught us many lessons, that how sometimes we get blinded by our own experiences. Right from Gurukul days, the classes had happened physically. Last 2 years, even a grade 3rd child has completed entire curriculum online.
Sir, you can take other ways also, if there would not be pandemic. And actually, during pandemic time, we are forced to take online classes. If there was no pandemic, probably the world was going the same way physically, right? And the online platform is not like, it just got popular during COVID times only. So probably had it been, if there would be no pandemic, so we would be doing all physically. So it depends upon the circumstances also.
So Deepa, I have two views on this. I think the way I see it, no situation like pandemic, even pandemic, can change human behaviors. It can only accelerate it. Okay, let me explain you what I'm saying. We started online sessions about 6 months prior to the first pandemic. Okay? So our online sessions were not created because of pandemic. It was created because we within the organization felt that human behavior will change to online platforms. And we sensed it. What pandemic did, it force multiplied it. It accelerated that human behavior change. It would have anyway happened, but it would have taken a little longer. Pandemic accelerated. Okay? There are a lot of people who don't want to go back to work. They're happy working from home forever. Then again, we should not get blinded by it. There are certain roles which can work from home permanently, possibly. And there are certain roles which cannot. So we should not go by experience blindly is what my suggestion is. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for asking this question. Any other questions before we move ahead, friends?
So this pandemic example was totally relevant. But sir, can you give me some other example like to relate the same?
Okay. So from experience point of view?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me give you a couple of more examples. So many of you are from HR, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you will speak to your HR heads, and if you will speak to someone who's coming a fresher, and which is the biggest problem in HR?
Yeah, sir. Agree.
What is the biggest problem in HR?
To recruit people.
To recruit people. Absolutely. Who said that?
So recruiting is the...
Yeah, getting the right talent is the biggest problem in HR, correct? You have, and especially if you're in technical recruitment, then you're gone. Currently you're going through a tough time if you are a technical recruiter. Okay. Now, and recruitment is a big challenge. First is getting the talent, then getting the talent selected from your hiring manager, then making the offer within the budget, and finally, whether God knows whether the person will join or not. Okay, and that's a typical problem for every HR. Now, a lot of these problems, a lot of organizations are solving through analytics, and we will not have time for getting into those details. But I was just consulting one organization in Chennai on this area. Now, if you will speak to your HR heads or people who are in their 40s and 50s, your CEOs, your HR heads, they have a very different impression about hiring. What they feel that, you are not able to get people. There are so many people who are unemployed. Why they are not coming to us? Give a little more salary, they will come join us, or they will get retained. Isn't it? But the entire employment dynamics have changed. About 30 years back or 20 years back, when they came into job market, the most important thing for every person who is looking for a job was earning a living. Yeah, mera ghar chalna chahiye. And the whole object, आप मेरे को गाली दो, आप मेरे को abuse करो, आप मेरे को कुछ भी करो, मैं काम करता रहूंगा क्योंकि मेरे लिए, for me, it's not as important where the company is going. It's more important for me where my family is going. And am I able to earn enough? Then came where people were more focused on standard of living. I need a bigger house. My kids need to go to better school. I need a bigger car. Every member of my family need to have a vehicle. Good schools, good tuition, good family, good house, good food. Those became the standard of living. Now, if you're hiring in today's generation, if you'll go back by your experience of people are looking for a job because of they want a more standard of living, or they are looking for a living, is not true. Now people are looking for more quality of life. They really want to understand what is your organization culture. They ask questions around culture. They want to know what will be my work-life balance. They want to know how challenging my project will be. They're not bothered about whether they will have a bigger car, bigger house. They're happy living in a one-room apartment, but they want a better quality of life. Will I be able to go back home at 5:30 after my work? Will my boss trouble me after I've gone home? What will be a quality of, will I be able to spend my family time? Will I be able to go out dinner with my friends? Will I be able to take leaves? Those are becoming more important element, which is about quality of life. Will I get growth? Will my work get appreciated? Will you clap for my achievements? Those are quality of life. And if you will talk to your managers, they will say, no, this is not important. What is more important is their salary. What is more important is, give them a bigger incentive, give them bigger money, they will come. That's not true. How many people, are agreeing with me on this point? And this is another example where your experience can be a roadblock. We feel that people are looking for bigger brands. We feel people are looking for bigger salaries. We feel people are looking for bigger perks. That is your experience, which can become a big roadblock for your work. People are actually looking the reverse. They say, are you appreciating my, will you pay me on time? Pay me less, but will you pay me on time? Will you appreciate my work? Will you trouble me once I go back home? You know, are the con calls happening every day till 10 o'clock? Will you understand my pain areas? And those are need of today's employees. And many of your senior your colleagues will understand it. But your CEOs and your HR head may not. And that becomes a roadblock. You understand, your colleagues understand. Because you are not blinded with those experiences. But if you look at your management, they are blinded with those experiences. Because always remember, we see people not the way we are. We see people. So we don't see people the way they are. We see people the way we are. So your HR head is viewing them the way that person is and not what the person is. Candidate experience in hiring has become so important. And I will share you some statistics I may not be able to share with you today, but I'm just giving you. There is a research done globally, which says 68% of the employees who finally decide to join an organization are those who had good experience in their interviews. If there is a bad experience in the interview, they will go and tell to 5 more people they never join that company. They don't behave properly. Some of them will even go ahead and write on social media. Are you with me, friends? And if you talk about this to your HR heads or CEOs, they will not understand this. They say, no, ask them what's the objective of the interview. They say, objective of the interview is to assess the person. And if you ask the new age recruiter, the person will say the objective of the interview is that both parties should have an equal opportunity to assess each other. Are you with me, friends? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And many a times a decision, you may not be able to make a decision purely objectively. And let me just take you through one very interesting slide on this note. So we have discussed this in our past sessions as well. What is the problem solving steps? We are not going through it today. Now, whenever you're making a decision, okay, and this is at a managerial level I'm talking. There are 3 scenarios that can come up. One is, if you are working with us under certainty. What do you mean by when you're working under certainty?
Something may happen or something would not.
Good point. You are very clear about why someone will take a particular decision and why someone will not take a particular decision, or what may happen and what may not happen. You're certain about it. Say for example, you know that if your organization culture is good, if you're rewarding people, if people are getting growth and they're getting their salaries on time, the probability of a person staying in your organization is higher. Right? So these are very certain variables, what will make a person stay and what will make a person go from the particular organization, isn't it? So this is a very certain environment. If I ask you, what are the possibilities of a person leaving if you don't give people growth? Answer is clear, because you're working in a very high level of certainty. Correct? Now, on the contrary, there could be situations where you're working under uncertain environments. Okay? And there could be situations where you're working under high risk environments. Now, we will not get into detail of each one of them, but this is just to give you an overview on how decisions are done. And this is where we train people on, people who come to we have a program called Business Analytics for Managers. We have a specially designed program specifically targeting into managers. where we talk about all these three scenarios. How do you make it? Because decision-making process is completely different when you're working under certain conditions and with less certainty, and when you're making a decision under high-risk conditions. The difficult ones are when you're making a decision under uncertain conditions. There could be two scenarios again. It could be a competitive situation where you're not alone in the decision-making. There is a competitor also. And so there could be a non-competitive scenario and there could be a competitive scenario. And competitive scenario is very interesting. Why competitive scenario is very interesting?
It's included game theory.
Yes, it is. It's part of the game theory. Have you studied game theory, Rajani?
So not clearly. I think it's I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. You want to see one example of a game theory?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everyone wants to. So game theory is very interesting because it is worked in a competitive environment. Suppose you're hiring. So you're not the only one hiring, correct? You also have a competition who could be targeting the same talent. You know, you are suppose you're in sales. You are not the only one chasing that client. Your competitor is also chasing the client. It can happen within the organization as well. That you are not the only one pitching for a particular initiative. There could be another department who's pitching for the same initiative. All these are called as competitive situations, and what works best in competitive situation are game theories. And we will not go through the entire game theory, but let me just see if I can give you one example here. And this is very fascinating sometimes for people. So everyone just give me a quick yes if you want to understand a little bit on the game theory. I will give you one example on game theory.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Yes, sir.
One second.
Yes, sir.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. So let me give you one of the most interesting exercises of a game theory, and this is called as prisoner's dilemma. What it is called as? Prisoner's dilemma. Now, how does it work? Suppose you have a situation, there are two prisoners, police has caught. Yeah, so listen to me very carefully. There are two prisoners, police has caught. Okay. Now they have put both the prisoners in two different rooms. Now they both are unaware what the other person is responding. Now police is suspecting that they both are thieves and they have done a robbery together. So they both are thieves and they have done a robbery together. They have done the crime together. But police is not sure. And both these thieves, both these prisoners or possible prisoners, and this is called as prisoner's dilemma, both these thieves are aware that police is not confident. Police is not confident that whether they are thief or not, because they have been picked up on suspicion. Police is suspicious about them, but they're not sure. So let's call them as prisoner A and prisoner B. Now, both these prisoners are asked, have you done the theft? Have you done the theft? And what will police tell them generally? If you agree to this theft, we will reduce your punishment. But if you don't agree to this, and if it is proven that you were the thief and you have done the crime, then your punishment will be higher. So now both these thieves have two options. What are the options? Both the thieves have two options. And they are in different rooms. They are in different rooms.
They can tell the truth or they will lie.
Sorry?
They can blame on each other that person has done the crime.
So one option is they can blame each other. What are the other option?
they can, the other option can be they can confess themselves. Yes, we have done the
So
crime.
when they confess, or police is saying, you please confess, we will reduce your imprisonment. So now they are in different rooms. And police tell both of them that the other person has confessed. Now, would you like to confess or not? And police saying, if you confess, we will try to reduce your imprisonment. So now they have two options, either to remain silent or to confess. Now here is the deal. Now both of them are aware of certain facts. Let me explain you the facts. Now they both are aware that if I remain silent, suppose I am one of the thieves, okay, and let me take a volunteer. Can anyone want to volunteer to be another thief?
Yes, I would be.
Okay, so let Deepa is another thief, and we both are in different rooms. I have two options. I know if I remain silent, if I choose to remain silent, so that's the option I am exercising. And if Deepa also don't open her mouth and remain silent, then police will have to do a hard work. And if they are able to prove that we both were guilty, we have done the crime, we both get 2 years jail. Because police will never be sure. They will always be in doubt. Because there is no proof. Because only both of us know that we have done the crime. No one else knows that we have done the crime. But if I remain silent and Deepa confess, Deepa gets 1 year jail and I get 8 years jail. Because Deepa has confessed and I have not confessed, and Deepa has proven that we both have done the crime. I kept denying it. Deepa confessed, so she gets the benefit of confession. And I am found guilty. I get 8 years, Deepa get 1 year. I am aware of this fact. Now my second option is I do the cheating. I confess. Saying, yes, we have done the crime. Please give me 1 year and let me go free. So I get 1 year and Deepa gets 8 years. Okay. But if in case both confess, police will put both of us behind bars for 5 years. And we both, me and Deepa, are aware of this situation, that these are the 4 possibilities. What do you think we are going to do? Now, in this, only I can make decision for myself. I can't make a decision for Deepa. Are you getting my point? And this is called as game theory. What these two prisoners will make a decision, because outcomes are very different in each situation. And this is called as, and this is only one theory. There are 5 to 6 theories under game theory. This is called as prisoner's dilemma. And now the situation can change dramatically. So what do you think I will do? And what do you think Deepa should do? Are you getting, friends? It's a tough situation. Okay. So Deepa, what would you do? I have made my decision. What would you do? Okay, fine. Don't answer. Let me guess. Okay. So you guess what is my decision.
I guess that you would confess.
Okay. And what is your decision, hence?
I feel that I will also confess, because we both feel that instead of going for 8 years imprisonment, we at least get 1 year imprisonment and
no,
get
you'll
free.
not get one. So you're not. Okay, so here is the deal. Now you're getting it. Now you feel that I will confess. So I am in this box now. Okay. And you are also confessing. If we both convince, we both are in 5 for 5 years.
5 years jail. Okay.
If we both confess, we both are in for 5 years. So you think I am confessing? So what would you do? You will confess or you will not? Now here is the tight situation. Getting my, so is everyone now aware? So Deepa feels that I am going to confess. Okay. Now let's look at the options available with Deepa now. Now she has only two options. Her first option is, now she is operating in this box. She feels that I am confessing. Now she has two options. What are the options? Deepa, if you confess, we both are in for 5 years. If you don't confess, you are in for 8 years. So you're gone. The moment you think, are you with me, friends? Deepa, are you able to relate to this? Because if you feel I confess, then you are then in either for 5 or 8. You have to choose.
So, but I'm not able to correlate this theory in practical.
I'll give you a practical example. I'll give you a practical example after this. Have you understood the theory?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me give you a practical example. Okay. And this is where, because once you've understood the theory, then we get into the practical examples of it. Let's take, we both are selling a product. Okay. Yeah. Deepa, are you with me? Okay, so you're muted. So suppose we both are selling a particular product, and let's say there are 10 clients that are available for both of us. Okay. We have two options. We know there are 10 clients. What will we do? Oh, she is on a call.
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
No
So
problem.
can you please repeat?
So I'm saying we both are selling a product. Our products are exactly same, nothing to choose. Okay. And we know there are only 10 clients for this product. So if we both go for these clients, we both will get 5 clients, possibly. Okay. And each client will pay us 100 rupees. So we both make how much money?
500.
We both make 500 rupees. But is the life so simple?
No.
No. What do you think I can do? Because there is no product differentiation. Anyone? Any suggestions for Deepa?
Either you think to taking 6 clients and giving 4 clients to other people.
So how will I take 6 clients?
6 means it can, if the price can be 100 for you more and 100 less for another candidate.
Good point. So what Soumya is saying is there is a possibility I can give discount and get more clients. Okay, because if we both are not giving any discount, we both make 500 rupees, we both get 5 clients. Okay. Now, if I know that if in case I give discount, suppose I give 50% discount. Okay, or let's say I give 25% discount, or let's make it simple. Suppose I give say 20% discount. I give it at 80 rupees. Okay. And I get 9 clients. I go for, instead of, remain silent or concession, I use it as a discount. I give discount. I get 8 clients at 80 rupees. I get 640 rupees. What do you get? Because you are left with only 2 clients.
2 clients.
And you get at 100 rupees. So your earning comes from 500 to 200. So I make 640, you make 200. But this you cannot give discount once I've already given the discount, because by then the clients will be gone. So we both have to make a decision at the same time. So will you give a discount or you will not give a discount?
Yes, I will also try to give discount.
If you also try to give discount, so we both give discount. So we both make 400 rupees. Because we'll again get 5 clients. Yeah. Now, suppose you decide to give discount and I have not given discount. You make 640, I make 200. Okay. Now we are in a dilemma. And the decision we have to make is, will the other person give discount? And if the other person give discount, what's going to happen? And if the person is not giving discount, what's going to happen? And this is where, in practical situations, prisoner's dilemma is used. Because you have to see what the other, first is you have to evaluate what the person's most likely move is. Because that move can also go wrong. Because in the last example where you felt that I will confess, actually in my mind, I have decided not to confess, to remain silent. And your decision there itself has gone wrong. And using analytics, we actually make you practice that how to evaluate the other person's move. And this is also called as Nash equilibrium, where you push a person to make left with only one choice. Are you with me, friends?
So that we can predict easily.
That's correct. In fact, there is a very interesting video. Since we are running out of time, I will not be able to share that with you, because this is where also analytics for managers, because once you are in a managerial positions, you not only make decision basis numbers, but you also make a lot of decision in an uncertain environments where you are not certain what your competition is going to do, what the other company is going to do, what your competitor is going to do. And many a times you don't even know what your colleague is going to do. Okay? And you make a lot of decision in an uncertain environment. And for that, you need a lot of understanding about how the decision making happens in an uncertain environment. And if you practice well, you can actually leave people with only one choice. And the whole idea of learning analytics and game theory is one is able to predict what the other person is doing and influence that other person's move. Are you with me, friends?
Yes.
And a lot of people have used it in various ways. Have you gone to have a coffee ever in a coffee shop? How many size of cup? How many size of cup they offer?
3 sizes.
3 sizes. Good point. They generally offer you 3 or 4. They say we have regular, medium, large, or extra large. Correct?
Yes.
Where do you think they're trying to influence your decision?
Medium and large.
Absolutely. And where do you think most of the profit comes from?
Large.
No, medium and large.
Yeah.
Because
they are points.
Medium and large, yeah. Because the quantity is less and the price is high.
Because they are pushing your decision in that direction. Because they know the human psychology. Oh no, this is too small. Because they know that you will play safe. नहीं यार ज़्यादा बड़ा नहीं लेते, नहीं यार ज़्यादा छोटा नहीं लेते, medium ठीक है. Why? Because you are playing safe.
We thought to buy one, but end point we take one.
And I can give you example after example where people have used logic, and this is coming from the logics of game theory. How you will make decision. They're pushing you to make a particular decision. Suppose, now let me give you another scenario. Suppose those 3 cups are there. Which one you're more likely to choose? Now that person is not pushing you, whether you want regular, medium, large, extra large, person is not saying anything. You just have the price list in front of you. The person is not asking you. Which one do you think you will choose?
So we'll see the price and their margins are very close. Like if it's in medium and large are costing not much and small is costing at the same range only. Like sometimes if we order noodles, they are saying half plate is of 80 rupees and full plate is of 100 rupees. So we take 100 rupees full plate only. So in same way, like we will prepare medium or large.
Let me give you another example of a Maggie. Since you're on the Maggie, and then we will close, and then I'll open it up for question. Suppose I give you three options. Half plate Maggie 60 rupees, full plate Maggie 100 rupees, and Maggie, full plate Maggie with Coke is also 100 rupees. Which one will you choose?
Coke wala.
Coke wala.
Because you have made the second option irrelevant. Okay. Do you think the second option is irrelevant? And this is a real case. Huh? This is a real case I'm discussing with you. Let me open a whiteboard. You want to understand this case?
Yes, in some places it will be considered.
No, so let me give you three options. Half plate, 60. Full plate, 100. Full plate plus Coke, 100. Which one will you choose? What do you think? If 10 people are coming, what will be their choice? Out of 10, how many will choose what range?
Combo. I guess everyone full plate plus Coke.
Good point. You're saying almost 100% people will choose full plate with Coke.
Full plate with Coke.
Now, in this, which is the most irrelevant offer?
Full plate.
Huh?
Second one.
Full plate is the most irrelevant offer, isn't it? You ask that person's strategy. He will say that full plate at 100 is the most relevant offer in this sheet.
But the quantity maybe differs.
No, even the quantity is same. He will say it's the most relevant offer. Why? Why it is the most relevant offer? Because it is pushing everyone to take this decision. 100% of the people are taking this decision because of this. Now, let me give you another scenario. You say this is the most irrelevant offer and you remove this offer from this list. Now, suppose this offer is not available. You have only two offers, half plate at 60 and you have full plate plus Coke at 100. What do you think? What percentage of people will now choose full plate with Coke at 100 and half plate at 60?
50-50 chances.
80%, 64.
Correct. So maybe 70% people will choose full plate with Coke and half plate will be 30%. So now tell me which was the most relevant offer?
Third one.
No, second one. Because that was pushing everyone to take the third choice. As soon as you've removed it, 30% of people have reduced their spend. Are you getting, friends?
Yes, yes.
That second one was the most relevant, not most irrelevant. Because that was pushing everyone to make the choice of the third. And this again comes from, concepts of game theory, and you need a lot of training and practice for it. But it all can be learned. Is there any, Deepa, did I tell you anything about coding? Did I tell you anything about analytics? Did I tell you anything about data science? No, this is analytics. How do you make better decisions? Yeah? Okay, friends. So on that note, I open up for any questions if you have. Anything in your mind? We're already overshot 15 minutes. I'll take few questions and then we'll close.
Rahul, I have one quick question.
Yes, please.
No, I don't have any questions with regarding the presentation you made, but I was just wondering, analytics for manager, what are the tools you're going to include in the training program?
Oh, good question. In our program, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Yes, you're right.
So in our program, we use three tools. We use analysis tool pack on Excel. We use Python, and we use Tableau for visualization.
Great. Okay, fine. I'm more keen on looking at Tableau. So what?
Yeah, so Tableau is for visualization. So we use Tableau more for visualization than for analytics. Tableau is capable of doing certain amount of analytics, but it is predominantly a visualization tool.
Tableau or Power BI, which one is more preferable in
Good
current
question.
industry?
Good question. So this dilemma is a prisoner's dilemma. So this dilemma is there with everyone. You can choose any one of them. Both are equally good.
Okay.
Both are
Python
equally
and
good.
R?
Python is better.
Okay.
Python is better. Both are good languages, but if you are wanting to use from analytics lens, then Python is better. Although in our program, you have an option to add on R as well. But let me tell you, we are not teaching. So Vijay, just for clarification, because you're making a decision, we are not teaching you coding. Okay. We are teaching you Python more from the analytics objective, not from the data science objective.
Okay.
Thank you, Rahul.
So there are no machine learning algorithms for this part.
We have machine learning algorithms. So I think machine learning algorithm is a very hyped vocabulary.
Okay.
Machine learning algorithm we teach you. Even machine learning you can do on Excel as well.
Yes, okay.
Yes. So we teach you because that is part of the predictive analytics and decision making. We teach you. But at a very basic level, not at a very in-depth level. We teach you at a level which that is required for your work.
Okay.
So which is as a skill, not as a data science.
Okay. Not IT coding part, but as an Excel sheet.
So we will teach you machine learning both on Python and on Excel.
Okay.
But that Great. Is more to make you better decisions. So we will not tell you how to write codes. We will give you ready-made code so that you can learn the algorithms.
Yeah, okay.
So that you are able, your work should not get stuck. Because what happens, friend, is a good question you're asking. 80% of the analytics you can actually perform on Excel. And no matter which role you will do, you will be doing on Excel only. You know, so Excel is not going to go away for another 10, 15 years.
Excel is the key of success.
Excel can perform in a normal business, day-to-day business, 80% of the analytics can be performed on Excel itself. There are few areas where Excel has its constraints. For example, if you're working with a very high volume of data, Excel slows down. Okay, it starts hanging and you have to go through little advanced tools like Python so that your work is not hampered. The other areas where Excel may not be very useful is, suppose you are using text analytics. A lot of people deal with a lot of written content. Okay, suppose if you're in customer service, you will have a lot of customer feedbacks. If you are in HR, you will have a lot of exit interviews, employee satisfaction surveys, where a lot of written content comes to you. And if you have to evaluate written content, because Excel only understands numbers. If you have to evaluate written content, then you have to go through tools like Python so that you can evaluate, do analytics even on the text, which is called as text analytics. Similarly, if you want to clean up data, because many times you may not have data in the correct form, and you want to do feature engineering, which is exercise to cleaning up data so that analytics can be performed. It can be better performed on applications, tools like Python than on Excel. So for those areas, we take you to Python as well. So that's the objective. That's how the program is designed. Does this answer your question, friends? All right. Any other question from anyone? Okay, so then we come to the close of this session. If you have any questions, please get in. Thanks for remembering. We want to share the syllabus. Just give me a second. I'll just put all our brochures and you can just download it before we close. Just give me a second. Let me just give you the brochures.
Sir, what's the duration?
Yeah, I'll just give me a second. Let me just upload the brochure and then I'll. So analytics program are typically a 3-month program, about 12 to 15 sessions, depending on the batch learning pace. But ballpark you can take, it takes about 3 months. Once a week session goes for about 3 months. So this is business analytics for managers. Then I've also uploaded HR analytics because a lot of you are from HR background. And let me also put up HR generalist brochure as well. Rohit is asking, business analyst can do this. So Rohit, I'm not clear on your question. Can you please ask your question again?
Hi, sir. Actually, I'm a business analyst in one of the IT company. Means the requirement gathering, designing, mock-up, prototyping, writing user story. This all my daily work. Means working with the client, product owner, development team. So that is my question. Means this analytics will help me or not? Means I'm not kind of manager actually. It's just a business analyst, 4 years of experience.
Okay, so good. I'm glad that you asked this question, Rohit. So business analysts in IT companies are actually not business analysts. Okay, they're more product analysts because you have to get into product life cycle, right from conceptualization to testing, story. You take that journey. Which is a very different skill than business analytics. Okay.
Right.
So you can do this program if you have if you want to get into business analytics role, and that is where it will be useful. But what you are, because both the roles have one thing in common, the word analyst.
Right.
Okay? Because that analyst needs more software development lifecycle knowledge, and that is where it's very important.
Right, got it, sir.
But you can do this program.
Yeah. By the way, I already enrolled for the Tableau course. Tableau
Very
data
good.
analysis.
Which is starting from 27th.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, so you're also facing one issue. I hope that's sorted out.
No, I think I will check that. Okay, no issue. Means I can see only one video, introduction video. I cannot see below videos.
Other videos, so fine. I'll figure that out. So I've raised your concern. And friends, it will be good to stay connected with you on LinkedIn. I've shared my LinkedIn profile as well. If you have any questions, you can reach out to one of our advisors. I've also shared that number, 8800005599. What's the fee structure for HR analytics program? Vinod, are you in touch with any of our advisors right now? Vinod, and if you are not, if you are in touch with your advisor will help you, or you can reach us on 8800005599. Someone will take you through the entire detail along with the fee structure, or alternately, you can leave your number here. One of us will reach out to you.
Can you share me the recorded session?
This one?
Yes.
So this will be uploaded on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
You can go to our YouTube page. You can even go through all our previous webinars.
Sure.
So all the webinars are generally uploaded on YouTube. All right then. Thank you very much. Have a great Holi festival ahead. And I'll see you in our upcoming webinar.
Thanks, Rahul.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining in.
Nice meeting with you, Rahul. Have a great day.
Likewise, Samya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a happy Holi, everyone.
Yeah, happy Holi, everyone.